All right, so welcome along to semester 1 for ECU101, Health and Physical Education for Schools. And I hope everyone has been going through the discussion board and really looking through some of the modules already. Even though we are in day 2 of the semester, it's really good to familiarise yourself with the unit. Who am I? Your lecturer. So my name's Brendon Hyndman, and you can see here's a few of my favourite pictures in relation to my background. So you can see I've got a bit of a sense of adventure there. You can see white water rafting. You can see me up in the sky over Queenstown there, canoeing down Catherine Gorge. Some beautiful news there that we're actually expecting our first child, my wife and I, and you can see there I've also recently got the PhD from RMIT University. You can see the nice certificate there. So basically I've been in teacher education for almost 6 years now, and really looking forward to working with you in relation to my favourite subject area, which is health and PE. And you can see some of my research, which has been getting a little bit of coverage lately. You can see just some of the articles around there, so you can have a look at. It's largely focused on household objects and movable recycled materials. So you feel free to look at any of these links or newspaper articles there. And of course, a couple of television appearances, and you can see I was on the breakfast show, Channel 10. So that's a little bit about me. And you can also follow me on Twitter. So and any of the latest news in relation to, you can see there, the International Graduate Centre, any key links that I might come across, I like to upload those. So you can go to this site here, and you can follow the latest news or happenings that I come across. But anyway, health and phys ed for schools. So a few of the course expectations, of course, arriving on time, not only for internal students, but external students. And it's great to be all set to go for our scheduled online classrooms. Coming to the class prepared, and as I said in my first announcement, it's really important to start thinking of yourselves as taking a PE class. So wearing those runners and shorts and a PE type top. Maybe start avoiding the singlet type wear as well, or thongs and those sort of things, because as we'll talk about as we go along through the unit, it's very important to wear safe clothing and suitable clothing, especially in a hot environment, or if you're coming in close contact with some of these invasion games and stuff like that. You don't want to be tripping over thongs or cutting someone else with jewellery or whatever it may be. So that leads into start thinking of yourselves as health and PE professionals. I know this isn't going to be the absolute major subject for some of you, but there will be occasions where you will be taking health and PE classes. So you need to start thinking in that sort of mindset when you are taking health and PE classes. Participation requirements. So I would advise that there's so much content in these two subject areas that they're really merged together. So try and participate and engage in as much as you can. That's really important. With health and PE now is very much merged. So we've only got about 6 weeks with physical education and then 7 weeks with the health education. So really important to try and keep up with all of that content, and that will put you in good stead for strong assignments. And yeah, we really want to hear your perspective on some of the challenges and how you engage with health and PE, which I'll talk about shortly. So a bit of an overview of ECU101, and you can see the first module there. It's a bit of insight into both physical activity and PE, and how they both, the differences and similarities between each. Module 2 goes a little bit deeper into a range of more structural physical education aspects, and So some of the safety and pedagogies and different strategies being applied in schools. And then Module 3 is largely related to health education. So, and that will lead into assignment 2. So you've got the first 2 there, and with that phys ed focus, that's really going to help assignment 1. You know, the sport coach training and unit plan, which I'll get into shortly. And you've also got assignment 2, which you're going to be creating an electronic resource and critical analysis. And a lot of the topics for assignment 2 are linked to that module there. So a lot of the health education, it could be mental health, risk-taking, it could be sex education and those type of things. So a lot of those are tied into Module 3, and we'll be doing a range of workshops, health education workshops, as you'll be able to see through your unit information plan as well. So your first assessment task is worth 50%, and it's going to be related to sport coach training and a unit plan, and this is during week 7. So it seems a little way away at the moment, but it's going to creep up really quickly. So really important that you get onto this as soon as possible. I really need to emphasize the sport coach training. For some of you, you might choose to have a physical coaching training over a few weeks, and maybe do a level 0 or level 1, get that sort of completion. In some instances, you might choose to pay a certain fee, but I've recommended the easiest way if you want to do this. So for those who don't have potentially the physical time to go and do coach training or the finances, you can do this free online coaching course, which you can see here. Oops, the website's just here. And that allows you to gain an insight into a range of coaching aspects, and then this is provided by the Australian Institute of Sport. So you can go online, no cost, go through a range of modules and really learn some of the key aspects of coaching, different aspects. So that's something you can do. On completion, you'll get a completion certificate, and that will be your first part of assignment 1. So you just need to submit that coaching certificate there. So I recommend to go to this site. If you are strapped for time or don't want to pay any fees, that's fine, and there's a nice, easy way to go about that. So the example here, so if you go to the website, you'll be faced with a page that looks like this, and so you'll enter your email address in here. Oh, sorry. First of all, you need to register. I'll just circle that one. And once you've registered, then you'll just log into here, and then you will be faced with a range of coaching courses that you could do for free online. And here's some examples. So you've got some coaching general principles course there. You have high performance decision making, high performance goal setting, high performance motivation, and there's a few more. This is as far as my screenshot would allow us to go. So you can see there, I've just dabbled in one. I was just having a look, and it'll tell you if you've completed it or not, and there's a range of other options. You even get a little transcript and stuff like that. So, this is quite flexible as long as it's related to a coaching aspect in sport, and you can get a completion certificate demonstrating your coaching engagement. That will be okay. Assessment task part B, or part 2, section 2, is the unit plan, and it's set up to be approximately 1,000 words, but you don't need to go exact to the T. I mean, if you go a little bit over and you want to create some strong detail in your lesson plans, that's okay. Not too much over that. That's just a bit of a guide. So it's going to be 4 lesson plans, and we're going to be working on that in week 2. There's going to be a lecture on that one for next week, outlining a range of lesson planning aspects. It must be on a single theme of phys ed. It could be gymnastics, it could be fundamental motor skills, it could be throwing and catching, or something like that. So I'll talk more about that in week 2, next week. Each of those 4 lessons should last 35 to 40 minutes, and you can access the lesson plan via the in-school tab. That's one example. I'll also provide you with another example which you might be able to use for phys ed classes. It's got a range of columns that you can set up with teaching cues and how to structure another format. So I'll provide that to you for next week. Show appropriate skill development and progression, and that's really important. And you don't want to be starting off quite challenging at the start and then getting easier. So once again, I'll talk about that in week 2. Applying appropriate teaching cues. It could be safety considerations, it could be grouping considerations, or you might want to reinforce aspects of the skill. Classroom management. Specific learning objectives, so that'll link in with the Australian curriculum, and we'll be going over that. So really familiarise yourself with the health and physical education curriculum, and there's copies of that, of the latest copy of that online, and some inclusive teaching strategies. So there will be 1 week where there'll be a lecture really outlining how to be inclusive within your teaching practice. Assessment task 2, that's also worth 50%, and this is during week 12. It's slightly bigger with the 1,500 words all up. That's not for the electronic resource. So your electronic resource is going to be, you get to choose a resource of how you'd want to teach a specific topic, and this could be a PowerPoint, it could be a wiki, some sort of electronic resource based on those ranges of topics that are in your unit guide. You're going to choose one of those and prepare it for teaching and aimed at a specific classroom level, okay? The other part of that is a critical analysis. So this is the writing component. So first of all, part 1, you've got your electronic resource. Part 2 is a bit of an essay, and that's where your word count's going to come in. So the aim is to write an argumentative essay to persuade the importance of your topic and to teach it in schools, and demonstrate your knowledge of a range of contemporary issues in relation to that topic for teaching. Other things that you'll need to do is discuss this topic in relation to a range of contexts. So for instance, how does your topic link to local, national and global contexts? How does it connect to teaching strategies that will be used and applied? And I'll touch on a couple of pedagogies next week, which you could look into further. And there's some of those in the modules as well. And linking it to educational theory and initiatives. So really outlining the importance of your topic, how you would frame it and teach it, and discuss some of the maybe challenges and link it to a range of different contexts. All right, so that's the assignments out of the way, and you've heard a little bit about me, a little bit about the setup of the unit, and I've also just jotted down a little bit of a discussion board task for you, just to get to know each of you. It's really, I think it's quite valuable as the unit coordinator, and for myself and Janice, the other lecturer, to really understand your backgrounds, your past experiences as a PE student, and that can really form how you approach teaching PE. What are your expectations for yourself, the class and the lecturer? How do you learn best? And that could be in the form of diagrams and demonstrations, so visual side of things. Do you like a bit more of a podcast approach or hands-on activities? So you can go in and in the discussion board, this is optional, but if you'd like to participate, you can be as brief or expansive as you like. Areas of PE teaching that you want to focus on as well. So is there a specific challenge you want to address within your phys ed teaching and those sort of things. So that's up to you whether you engage with that one, and it's also a good way for others to get to know your backgrounds and interests in PE as well, and how you learn.